good argument that there's nothing wrong with going outside the petri dish. I mean, we did that, with the guy who's running the Federal Reserve right now. He wasn't an economist by trading, but he had a different view of the world. Now, the president later has said he regrets that choice. Right. But having said that, what is wrong with mixing it up, the type of people you have serving on the Fed?
I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all, Neil. I actually like Herman Cain as a selection, and the reason for that is because he comes from a different background. He was CEO of Godfather Pizza. He's had a corporate career. I think they need some people who actually understand business.
30 years in fast food and didn't gain a pound. That's amazing.
That is amazing. But I think he's the type of guy who can bring a different train of thought to the Fed, and I think they need it. But listen, he's also run for U.S. Senate. He's also run for president. He was a good candidate.
Well, he has his woman's allegations about, abuse and all that other thing. So we don't know the real skinny or truth on that, but the Me Too movement is galvanized by that and doesn't want him to get there. Leaving that aside, I would wonder, especially when you look at Kevin, I mean, you can make an argument these days that, say what you will of the president, jawboning the Federal Reserve, but in retrospect, he was right about the Fed overdoing these hikes, right?
Well, listen, I think the market overreacted because the punch bowl got taken away, and they're so hooked on low interest rate policy that it's like, oh my gosh, rising input costs with labor and now interest rates going up, that's going to tank the market. But I think it's important to note that actually President Trump wants Herman Cain to be on this, but he also wants a stronger dollar. He actually advocated that in his op-ed.
Well, now he wants a weaker dollar.
Exactly, and Donald Trump wants a weaker dollar. So if anything, it kind of goes against what he wants. And I think it's also important to note that Herman Cain actually was part of the Federal Reserve System from 1995 to 1996. City, right? Yeah, in Kansas City. So, you know what? I think the interesting thing is we need to get to equilibrium where the Fed isn't actually going into markets and trying to distort them. I think they should try.
But this president is fought a lot on no matter who he appoints, right? It's why we have so many acting directors and officials.
Congress isn't getting through his nominees for a lot of his agencies, too. I mean, so he's fought in every facet.
Which makes me wonder, a lot of this is just driven by contempt for the president.
Right. Well, I mean, last year he nominated two others, economists, for the Federal Reserve Board. Those nominations were expired, basically, because he couldn't get it through the Senate. So, yes, there's a lot of politics at play because I would say Herman Cain, he's done this before. He's been on the Kansas City Fed. Right. It's not like he doesn't have the experience. So, yes, I feel like there's a lot of politics at play, partisan politics, possibly.
Well, the president likes Herman Cain now, and he has said that he's not going to do the bidding for President Trump. So as soon as he disagrees with the president, there's no question about it. The president is going to go right after him.
Yeah.
So.
But we do love the flat tax idea that Herman Cain had. 9%.
That's going to put me out of business, but I still think it's a good idea for the
always about you.
The economy will be doing so well, you'll easily get another job.
Exactly. We will always have a need for accountants, my friend. All right, we have a lot more coming.